This little video is about trying to keep the numbers of hive beetles down. There are a lot around at the moment, early 2025. So I'll show you one of the methods that I use. Now I've got an old box sitting on the ground just so that I can get my device off the ground. Now this is a waterproof tray, and I might actually have to put a wedge under that. That's not too bad. That's nice and level. Right, so what I have here is a reasonably waterproof tray. I put some fabric in it and some, I forget what it was, pool sealer or something like that. So that goes on the bottom, and I fill that up with water. Maybe 1.5 inches of water in it. And then I have a second piece, which is a mesh bottom board. Well, it's not a mesh bottom board, it's a mesh top board now. And I sit that on that. And then I sit my box on here and give it a bit of a shake and let the bees chase the beetles down into the water where they drown. I put morning fresh detergent in the water, and the water is warm. Now, this is actually made for 10 frame boxes, so when I use it, I have to put a spacer board on here so that I don't have bees and beetles going out the side. So if I used an 8 frame box on here, it would only come to about here. So I'd have a gap under here. So I could either put a piece of timber under there, or just easier to put a piece on the top. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll fill this up with water now. I've got some hot water boiling over here. I'll give that a bit of a liberal splash of detergent. So I've got a nice soapy mixture. Now I can start pulling my hive apart. First of all, to make sure I don't get any bees going to that water and getting drowned, I'll put the top on, and I'll put the frame on, and now I'm ready to put a box on. Now I'm back fully suited up with smoker, so I'm ready to pull this hive apart and look for some hive beetles and extract some honey. These boxes are really heavy. They're full of honey. So here's the first one. Well, not very many beetles in that one. So I'll go to the next box. What's happening with this hive is that these two supers are completely full of honey. They're completely capped, so it's not a great place for the hive beetles to make a living. So there's not too many beetles in these. I'll have to look into the brood boxes to see how they look. don't know if you can see, but I've got 2 brood boxes on this hive. So I'm going to take the super boxes off the water and put each of the brood boxes on in turn. And see if we get more beetles. I must have upset them all yesterday because there's hardly any beetles in there.
When I inspected the hive the day before, I found that there were 4 full frames of honey in the top brood box, so I'm going to now move those out and extract them and consolidate all of the best brood into the bottom box.
There she is. Lovely little queen. I don't know if you can see her there, but there she went, just went through the back, and now I've lost her. I don't know where she is. So I'll put that back in there, so she stays there. I'm just hoping that they're building a few beetles down to the bottom.
So now I've taken those 4 frames out for extracting, I'm now moving the best brood frames into this box, and this box in the foreground will become the lower brood box. I'm putting an ideal frame in this bottom brood box so that the bees can construct drone comb on the bottom of that frame, and then I'm also going to put a foundation frame into it as well. We'll have a look at the tray beneath the screen bottom board. I replaced that, I cleaned that tray yesterday and refilled it with oil before I put the hive back together. So it's collected quite a few beetles. Obviously any messing around you do with a hive will cause a lot of beetles to move around in the hive and get trapped in that bottom board. So all for the good.
I think at the moment we're not catching too many beetles in the water tray, which is a little bit of a surprise. So I'll now put this box back on. It'll become our bottom brood box. Those bees sure like the fluffy bit on the microphone. It's black and it's fluffy and they hate it. They're burrowing in there trying to sting it. Hope they don't succeed. So those frames are now those frames that I extract will now go back into this top brood box. So this is the end of the day. Clean some of the rubbish off the top. And that's how many beetles I got out of that hive. It's a fair few, but it's not as many as I thought. I thought I'd get more than that. But then I had opened it yesterday. But there won't be too many beetles in that hive now. Now the other thing I've done is I'll have to brush a few bees away from the entrance. I've got this tricky little device, entrance, which means you block off all the other sides, and that allows bees to go in and out, but there's a space all around it, and there's holes in the platform. So there's always going to be so many bees at this entrance that if a beetle lands on the platform with the holes in it, the bees will drive them through the holes and they'll stay out of the hive. That's the theory. You can hardly even see it there now. So many bees trying to get in and out. Anyway, I hope it works. Hope it keeps the beetles at bay.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching that and that it's been informative. That was the aim of putting it up on YouTube and showing it to the members of the North Shore Beekeepers Association. So have fun and enjoy your search for the beetle.